welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Sure did.
Episode number 2 of season 6? 7?
6.
Season 6.
Yeah, so much.
I realized we need to start putting the episode numbers in our descriptions and stuff, because there's some people who really want to just find out, what episode are they talking about?
Right. It's helpful because, you can't always tell from our titles which one it...
No, you cannot.
Sometimes we're kind of inane.
For those of you who are happy to see us talking about Salt Lake, meaning see us on the YouTube, you got to go back and listen to our audio episode that we did with the Bestie Approved podcast. They had us on their podcast. I guess we were on each other's podcast.
Each other's, yes. A collab.
It was a collab. I like to call it a collab.
A collab.
I don't know why, but it was a good episode. It's interesting doing stuff with other people, just in general, like
just getting another opinion,
right? And
they're very funny and like easy to talk to, and it's like, we might disagree on things, but it's like, I hear your point of view, and that's actually a good point that I wouldn't have thought of. Right. Yeah, that's nice.
I felt a little off the entire episode, only in that I just felt like a fish out of water slightly, because I'm just so used to coming up here and we're married, so we already have a kind of routine amongst ourselves. But I didn't realize we've done over 200 episodes of this.
Has it been 200 now?
It's been, over 200.
Really?
I think we're at 210, something more than that.
We missed 200.
Yeah. So I just have a routine and kind of a pace that I get into. And so when there's someone else involved, I was like,
it does throw you off. Yeah. It's like, I felt, and also it's 4 people. So you're worried about because I accidentally interrupted, because it's just going to happen because you're talking at the same time. You don't mean to.
Right.
I don't mean to cut somebody off. And I'm like, oh, crap. What did you say? Yeah.
Well, and the other problem, and we'll figure this out before we do the next one, which we're planning on doing for the Potomac premiere. So if you're a Potomac fan, we're going to be doing that.
Is that next week, Potomac? October 5th? Yeah.
No. Is that next week?
October is next Wednesday.
Oh, geez.
I know. So that Monday we're going to record.
Right.
After the Monday after Potomac, yeah.
What I realized is because we only had it showing whoever was talking, you couldn't see the other people to see if they were about ready to start.
Next time, yes, we should do the split screen, even though
even though we were cut off a little bit on our perspective.
I still wanted to see them. So that
exactly.
We would know that someone's about to say it. Make a good point.
Very good. But if you loved the first episode of Salt Lake, this second one was pretty damn.
It's so good.
It was good.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yes.
I don't even know where to begin.
We start with them at the RV still.
I wish
they actually slept in.
They did, or at least showed them waking up there. I wish they had made more of a Housewives deal over the sleeping accommodations. The fact that it looked like Meredith and who was that next? Bronwyn just slept in a recliner. I was just I don't, what? I want to see Luann doing that.
I feel like Tim and Sheen's starting to do something about, they had that crappy motel in Crappy Lake.
Well, that's still, but if Luann always complained about being on the lower level, can you imagine her, I'm not sleeping in a recliner, darling.
I'd rather have my own recliner than
share a bed?
Yeah. Well, obviously if it's with you, that's,
right.
Yeah, but because there's Mary and Angie, and then Whitney and Heather, of course, and then Bronwyn and
Meredith just slept in the recliners.
Yeah, and then where was Brittany? Was she just on the ground?
Who knows? She's in the the passenger seat. She's reclined.
They're Blair Witch can get you.
I liked in the morning that was it Heather who was let's go brush our teeth down by the river, and she's why would we do that? So we can talk shit about everyone. That was to me it'd be let's get out of this tight, probably smelly, RV right now,
space.
And let's go out and let's talk some shit. Yes. So I was disappointed that we didn't get more of it.
Right, as they're down by the river. The funniest thing was Meredith was saying, of course they're not going to let something happen to us. It would be a liability for the network.
Yeah.
I do, as much as she irritates me sometimes, Meredith is pretty funny sometimes as well.
So what all else happened before Heather went and narked on everybody with Lisa?
Good Lord, man. She couldn't wait to run her mouth.
Yeah.
And give her version of things, which weren't totally accurate.
I wouldn't say they're not at all accurate. It was just very, very, very colored in her favor.
Before we get to that, it's her basically feeling like Bronwyn's calling her a shitty mom. and that around the campfire.
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
was until Heather got all in her feelings and her hateful Bronwyn feelings. I think it was a good discussion about motherhood.
Right.
And like, you know, Heather doesn't talk a lot about her husband and, you know, when he left and like what happened. And to hear her say he never had like an overnight with them and he never had any sort of custody, it was strictly her. And he just, I guess, provided, even though they were divorced, provided for the daughters. That was really interesting to me, like about that relationship, because she just doesn't get into it. I think she wants to protect that and protect her daughters and not speak ill about him.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I do love to play the devil's advocate sometimes.
And I keep telling you, you're messing with that devil, it's not going to be good.
Go
ahead.
I'm going to say, like, I'm sure that Heather's version of the custody and everything.
Oh, that's the devil. Okay.
Yeah, that I'm saying is like it's quite common for the mother to get full custody.
Yes.
And so, like, depending upon how, acrimonious, that means bad, right?
Yes.
Acrimonious. How their divorce was, it could have just been default that, like, she got sole custody and then, like, it's possible that she prevented him from having an overnight. I'm just saying, like, it's a common arrangement. Now, I would also say devil's advocate the opposite way, angel's advocate, that he should have, as a father, tried harder to make those things happen, and so if he didn't do that, maybe he did not have the interest in what Heather's saying is true.
I wouldn't think that she would have blocked him. Like, this is me sticking up for Heather. I don't think she would have blocked him from being with the girls. I think she would have like also wanted a break. As she said, like she basically was mothering these girls nonstop on her own. And it would have been great to have taken them for a fun weekend while she just like, decompressed. Because 3 daughters, it's a lot, and you're working. Well, because she was, I'd like to know the timeline of when she started Beauty Lab and all that. And she's talking about failures last episode. But
I can't imagine it happened overnight.
No.
I'm sure it was, going on a while. My guess is, also that he probably, if misogyny runs the way I think it probably does in that relationship, I'm sure he was like, oh, you're done with me, I'm done with you, I'm on to another woman, and I have a new family now. That sort of mentality.
Yeah. I don't know if he got remarried. I'd have to Google that. I'd have to care more. But no, I think it was what you're saying, we're in the church, the woman stays behind and, takes care of the kids and he's the provider. So I think it just made sense, aside from like the normal, like mother's getting sole custody typically. It was, of course you're going to take the kids. Why would I?
Right.
But you would think joint custody, but that's not how it worked. In any event.
Right. So
I was really
railed.
No, it was fine. That was her experience. And then Bronwyn was sharing her experience. And Heather just thought that Bronwyn was shitting on her. And she wasn't. She was like, I understand where you're coming from and like our similar upbringings in the Mormon church and like what these traditional roles that are like put on us. But for me, my experience is that I, don't want to let go of my daughter yet. And then she goes into better detail in her confessional. And also I felt when they met for lunch, she tried to explain it, but Heather just wanted to have an issue.
Right.
And it just couldn't be that. I feel everyone else shared well. And I think Heather shared well too, but like she just had to like be bothered by Bronwyn. Well, like I wonder if Angie had said it or if Mary had, or Whitney had said it, like, I'm not done. But I don't know.
It's one of those situations where I feel like sometimes, someone's really in their feelings, talking about themselves. Yeah. And that, if you try to like bring up your experience as a way to like, commiserate and to sympathize with them, they automatically, oh, well, now you're trying to make it about you. And so that I think that's his.
Wasn't even that. It was like, you're trying to just make me look bad.
Oh, I didn't really.
I don't think Bronwyn has been trying this entire trip to be good with you.
Right.
And you are irritated at her, one, because she's talking about your bestie, Lisa Barlow, and 2, now you're thinking she's calling you a bad mother.
But I don't see how what she said could be construed as calling her a bad mother.
Exactly. Like, that's what I am saying.
Even before watching tonight, like I saw a clip of her explaining it. I was like, I don't know how from the flashbacks they showed and everything, like what she said could be calling Heather a bad mother.
No. And then she when they met, she went into more detail. Like, I feel like I haven't maybe not done the best job of mothering, and that's why I'm still like hesitant to let Gwen go. And then I wish she had said this with the group Bronwyn, when she said, like, my identity is wrapped up in being Gwen's mom, and if she's not there, then it's like, what do I do with my life now? And and the thought of it all. And I think she voiced a lot of things that a lot of women feel. And so I don't know. Heather was just looking for a fight, and that irritated the crap out of me.
Absolutely. And then it's evident by how when she goes to meet Lisa, she's just like, oh, let me tell you what happened. And I guess that happened, but like she completely misrepresented
Excuse me, let me do this. Ding, 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 ding. What about Brittany?
Yeah.
Like where you were saying, where was, Brittany had your back. She was staunchly defending you. She got in a fight with Whitney to defend you. No, Heather's like, oh, no, it was just me. Meredith was silent. It was just me.
Yeah.
Girl, bye. It wasn't just you. Like that,
And even for comedic value, you could be like, oh yeah, I was surprised Brittany chimed in because I didn't know you two were so chummy. Even that. But
instead, it's all like, no, Lisa, it was just me. I laid down my life for you. Like I was like, no, Bronwyn, please stop talking about Lisa, and she just slapped me and kept going. And then she called me a bad mom. Like I can't with Heather, and I can't. Do better, Heather. Do better.
Yeah.
You're an unreliable narrator, and I hate that in a novel, and I hate that in a housewife. Stop it. So yeah, she meets with Lisa, and
in the smallest restaurant possible.
Good Lord, that was like someone's like back room.
Yeah,
like
it's also one of those restaurants. I forget what it's called. It's saturated painted, where like every surface is the same color. It was like all that like dark blackish blue.
It felt like a lot like black drapes and like the weird like
it was just
waiter.
Too much. And then and that waiter's eyes, was that the waiter?
Yeah, they're a little buggy.
Sorry, fellow.
Yeah, yeah, that was your moment.
Maybe the lighting was just bright.
I was more into the ladies behind them, like the one lady who was like just looking them up and down, like.
Well, and since you pointed that out, there was another guy behind one of them who didn't seem to be eating or doing anything. Like he just sat there with his hand on the plate, and like, is he moving at all? Which reminds me of moving. You pointed out all the Reddit kerfuffle about Lisa's eye being.
Oh my God! In her confessional, it's like one is more lashed than the other, and one is smokier than the other. Like her glam was like, "No, we got to go." And Glam's like, "I'm not done." They're like, "Whatever, we got to go." And there she went. And no one told her.
What I couldn't get over was how much she blinked in that scene with. She
blinks nonstop.
It was insane.
Yeah.
Like, and part of me started watching it thinking like, how often, like, is her blinking increase with how much she's lying or something? Like, is there like a ratio of truth to blink? Because dear God, she was like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I started thinking for a moment, if I was wearing heavy eye makeup with false lashes, would I blink that much?
Maybe it's
Did she get something in there? Like,
you're trying to hold your eye open, so you have to like keep blinking, because otherwise the weight of the lash will just shut it, and you'll be like, "What do you mean, Heather? Who was saying something about me? I don't love that."
It was making me uncomfortable. Like that sort of thing when someone points out that, like, you're doing something too much, and you're like, "Am I?" Or like for that moment in time, you're like, "I don't know if I remember how to swallow right now." Like, oh God, I'm dying. I was like, "Oh God, do I know how to blink? Am I over exaggerating it?" But yeah, that was creeping me the fuck out.
It was so much. That confessional was weird with the braids, and then of course she was like, "Well, I'll just talk about them." And did it like, sorry, let's rewind it, because I'm saying like too much. I was watching one of the episodes back, and the amounts of time I was watching one of the clips.
We always say like, it's okay.
But it's too much. It annoys me. I'm annoyed by myself.
That's good. As long as you're aware of it, just do better.
But I did. I remember like that one episode I said, I'm going to hold myself accountable.
Well, it's all right. It's a minor setback.
Okay.
Much.
We got a new season, new show.
It's like Mary Cosby's son. It's a mild setback.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
You just got to do better.
Okay. So we're rolling it back. Yeah. So Heather has told her version of events, and Lisa is, of course, denying everything. No, I'm not getting sued. They're all being dismissed. I like that Heather pointed out how Lisa said, "Oh, my life is so different from you guys," and the elitist attitude.
Mm-hmm.
That's great that Heather can point that out. Point out more things, Heather. Okay. This bestie ain't so bestie. But just
I still don't understand Heather's desire to be friends with I don't like speaking this absolutely, but I don't understand her desire to be friends with the worst person in the room. Like,
I mean, go from Jen Shaw.
Right. She just has this thing of I need to be friends with whoever the most volatile person is, maybe worst person in the room.
Volatile is a good way of saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the desire. And I feel like I'm trying to remove like from the vocabulary. I feel as though whomever was going to be the most, controversial, Heather would glom herself onto. And I'm curious where that comes from.
Maybe, the person who's getting the most attention and you are more attracted to the light.
Yeah.
And also then you don't have to try as hard.
If you're part of a big family, you're probably always seeking attention, and so you go with whoever gets the most.
Right.
So,
but in this case, I don't understand the laying down and to be like, I'm devoted to you, Lisa, and I was the only one who had your back, and yeah, that whole lunch was just very odd, and Lisa did nothing to make me think that these lawsuits are frivolous. There's a lot of smoke there.
I mean, if you haven't listened to it, definitely anyone listening to this should go check out the Bravo docket on those things. And I'm wondering if they're going to do an update on them. I think they should. I mean, I listened to it. It was very informative. And I think that it's nothing is black and white. Some of what Lisa's saying is true.
Yeah.
They got thrown out. But I think some of what, was it Angie or Bronwyn was saying that
Bronwyn.
Someone was saying like the foundation of which she's saying they should be thrown out is, well, we never had a repayment agreement, so therefore how could I be late on it? So it's using these technicalities that's are saying, how did I default on a contract if we never had a contract?
Right.
And so it's really grasping at straws, which, is what legality is about. But I think if you're starting to play that game, you've done something wrong. But at the same time, if you had an understanding that was different for someone else, you never wrote it down, then yeah, you have to do these sorts of things. So not defending her, but,
And also, people, Lisa's saying, oh, Bronwyn's not a lawyer, and, why is she looking into all this?
When did Bronwyn being a lawyer come into
or going to college?
Right.
Doesn't matter. She's an intelligent person. She reads things.
I mean, she reads Lisa. That's what she does. One thing saying like, oh, I read the newspaper. I was like, well, that's, reading.
There's more.
What was that, like a 3-column article at best?
The fact that she could point out things. Yeah. Todd got her those documents.
Probably.
She got her highlighter out, and
she probably listened to that episode of the Bravo docket.
That too. But the fact that she could quote so many things of, John Barlow didn't know about the loan, and the guy brought in her text messages as receipts to the court case.
Getting down to it without getting down to it. Lisa's I just feel like when someone starts name calling, they're wrong. Yeah. They have nothing else that they can do. Right. They just start name calling, which I was thinking back to how, because you were talking earlier, we were watching it, how low Lisa goes. Yeah. And I was thinking, the only time she was like that was with Monica.
Yes.
The two of them were really good at that. But that's also, neither of them had anything else to say. So they would just start calling each other names.
Monica was better at it. And I think that Bronwyn is good, but doesn't go to the gutter. She's just very quick with her words. My
problem with Bronwyn was at the end of the episode, it took her a little while to slip into a you can call me whatever you want mode, because she was really going tit for tat towards the end of the arguing back and forth. But then after a few times of Lisa going on about gout, Bronwyn was like, whatever, it's not going to bother me. What really switched for me was when she's like, I love my husband, and oh no, I have to have sex with him. You're making that sound like a bad thing.
Yeah. And there's more. There's so many layers to that.
Yeah. We can back up.
Yes.
Because I think before we get at all.
Well, there was the whole Whitney and Bronwyn, which we just basically discussed. Bronwyn quoting things and Whitney's just being so surprised. Justin didn't know. John didn't know. Oh. That's ooh. I also, there was that, but then the Whitney Justin scene of talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That was very sad.
That was sad.
Because, we've met them.
I know. Very sad.
They seem like nice people.
But I mean, it seemed very realistic, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and that's, you know, I think what's interesting is, especially us being in our 40s and doing things that, you know, doing this podcast, for instance, not that this is, you know, anything groundbreaking, but, you know, we're spending money on something that we want, and that, like, it would be really nice if it turned into something, you know? And granted, they spent a lot more and took a larger risk. It's something that I feel like a lot of people in this age group do, especially it's now this day and age, is they take a risk on themselves, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And so I think it's realistic to show that, and I think Justin had a good realistic view of, like, you know, we went all in and it just wasn't the right time for us.
I mean, this is a lesson for us to not do so. I think with us, there's definitely things, you know, we talk about not loving our jobs at all times, and like, what if we worked for ourselves? And it would be great to try to go on that venture, but it's also scary, and to put all of our money towards that is also just, you know, then to lose that, then it's just unimaginable, you know? And you just, for them, I just hope they're okay, and that, you know, I don't think they're in any danger of losing their house or whatnot, but it's very scary to hear we just put all of our savings into this, and now it's all gone.
Because, I mean, no matter what you say, like, I hope that they're, you know, I'm sure that they protected themselves, all the legalities and LLCs and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, they still invested their own money into this, and probably other people's money that they've let down and disappointed, that they owe a debt of something to.
Or people like who work for them who now are unemployed.
But, you know, so they file bankruptcy, they get out of that, cool. But they're still out all the money they may have had prior to that, that they could have really done something with, that they would rather not have just lost.
And also reputation, and people not wanting to take a risk on them again.
Right.
And it's a lot of layers. And so, yeah. But again, so great that she is being forthright and not trying to cover up and then have another housewife expose her. Maybe that was also her thinking, which is so twisted, you know. You have to think 2 steps ahead. Like, I don't want another housewife to get pissed at me and go do some digging and pull this out and throw it in my face on camera. I'm just gonna just out myself, basically, you know. But also, that's what's really happening in her life, and that's what you should be talking about, what's really happening in your life, Lisa.
You just remind me of that scene from Clue where he's like, I knew someone would expose me, so I decided to expose myself. Please, sir, there are ladies present.
That's great.
Well, I derailed you there. I really feel like, because Gabs has been coming up like every episode and just kind of chilling here, doing some personal grooming. I feel like we should get a cat cam. I could just intercut.
Oh, that would be so great.
Because I'm sure when we're talking about something boring, like I tend to do, that people will be like, oh, at least there's a cat on the camera. That'd be delightful.
Like one of our cameras that we use when we're out of town, maybe.
Oh, that could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to get, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But anyway. So yeah,
the Mary
of it all.
Yes, which feels like an entirely different episode.
Yeah, I'm glad, happy, pleased for the updates, grateful for the updates. Sorry to hear.
I also sad knowing what we know, that he just recently got arrested, or whatever.
I mentioned it when we were watching it. Like, it's difficult to watch. I don't want this to happen every episode. Like, I don't need this every episode. What I don't like about it is that clearly there's a lot of silence between them, and that doesn't go well with me. Like, I don't believe in silence. You've taught me a little bit that silence isn't the worst thing in the world. But I just feel like in a situation like that, there's a lot going unsaid between them. And I couldn't tell if it was because they're on a TV show and they just didn't want to say certain things, or if that's the tact she's actually taking, or that they take with each other. Is that, like, I'm going to tell you this, I'm not going to say anything. You know, I'm not going to say anything that's going to dissuade you from telling me more. Because what Mary was saying was very true, that, like, she helicoptered so much that, like, she feels she created a situation where he can't let her down.
Right.
And so obviously if he comes in and he says, hey, I smoked weed today, I know I'm not supposed to, but I did, you know, she probably wants to scream or something, but doesn't want to create a situation where he won't come back and tell her what's going on. Right. It's better to know what the problem is than guess, right?
Yeah, I took her silence as being very surprised and not knowing exactly how to react. And also a little bit of what you're saying of not wanting to say the wrong thing or like screaming at him, like, how could you do that? You know, she said earlier on in the episode that Robert Sr. said when he came back from rehab, they weren't going to babysit him, and he's got to figure his way out of this. And to an extent, yes, he has to help himself if he really wants help, if he wants to move on and get beyond this addiction, or live with the addiction, because you can't really get beyond it. But also, too, he needs support from his family. I don't know how many friends he has,
Right.
like, or how, I don't think they have any other family.
Right.
You know, well, he was saying, like, his friends, he can't really be, that was really interesting to me, of the idea of you can't soothe yourself or do the same routines, because that's bad. That's the addiction.
Right.
And you can't hang out with friends who normally who would support you, because they were the ones you used to party with.
Right.
So now you're just like stuck at home trying to be good, and the pressure, then you relieve that by eating a lot.
Right.
And doing weed, or probably the weed maybe leads to eating a lot with the munchies. So that was really interesting.
And that's why also people lean really hard into 12-step programs.
Yeah.
Because they like don't have any other support groups, so that's where they go. And I'm sure, you know, when you're his age, you're like, well, I feel weird being in a support group.
Right. Like that seems like something older people go through, and like there's no place for them. There's got to be like a younger group.
Yeah, there surely is.
Yes.
But yeah, that's...
You would think that the rehab clinic would give him, these are places you can go to once you leave here to...
They probably have.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they have, but at the same
Maybe
time...
you just don't want to do it.
You know, the idea of going to any sort of support group...
With strangers...
Like, even to this day, like, I'm a little bit more open to it now in my 40s, because I'm just like, well, life is weird, you know?
Yeah.
But like in my 20s, and especially, I would have been like, no, I got this figured out, you know?
Right.
I'm not going to go tell a bunch of, you know, I would be a little too proud to do that.
But he doesn't, and like that's how you fall again.
Yeah.
And I just...
The one thing about, you know, him saying he's doing weed, and the one thing that, like, by no means, I don't know if you're aware of this, I'm not an expert on addiction.
Yeah.
But, the one thing that I resonates with me is that, like, you know, you can't let every setback be a failure, you know?
Right.
It just
or define you.
Right. It's just like, you're going to make mistakes. We're all learning what we're doing, and especially, you know, trying to get out from under, you know, addiction, you're going to have setbacks, and you know, it's just going to be something, you know, you need to account for and plan for, and just make sure, you know, when it happens, you pick yourself back up if best you can, you know.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago that he was in rehab, so this is still very fresh. He's still got to figure it out.
Two things about it though. I wonder, like, the way he kind of casually said it was just like, a lot of people don't see weed as being an addictive thing.
Right.
You're part of an addiction or something that leads to your addiction. So it's like the situation, which it's iffy, because I get it. Like, marijuana isn't necessarily addictive, but like if you always smoked weed and then did a bunch of heroin
or cocaine or whatever,
it is, you're going to be like, I'm high. You know what sounds good right about now? The other drug, you know?
Right.
So that's very dangerous for sure. And so, like, that's the people that can have an addiction and feel they can balance it, and those that successfully do, I'm always like a little apprehensive for them, and that, like, how long until this escapes you, you know?
Right.
And that's just, you know, for your own sake of not getting to the worst you've ever been again. Like, I hope that doesn't lead that way. So, like, I hope that they're not considering, well, I don't know. I hope that they have a healthy relationship with whatever his road to recovery is.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not for me to judge.
Yeah.
But the other thing, what did Mary say? You just got to walk out of it.
Is that what she said?
Isn't that what she said? You got to walk through it. Something like that.
You know, I think she applies a lot of her
sermons.
Yes. Yeah. To things, and it's not always that cut and dry, but you do, you know, it's nice to have like a more motivating phrase, you know, for him, but there's a bit more to it. Right. But so then where do we get? Is it get to the party, the socialite party? The socialite? Amy the socialite?
Utah Socialite?
Okay.
Why did they make a big deal about her if they weren't going to have her really on camera? Like, she didn't have, like...
I feel like Amy doesn't want to be on the show because maybe she's truly a socialite, and...
But everyone at her party signed off on this. Everyone
signed a release. There were no blurred faces. Everyone signed a release. They all wanted to witness the circus for a night, but not be attached to it.
My thought was they paid Amy to host this. That production did is sort of like a... Like a career day at college.
I feel production is a little cheaper than that. I feel
that. Well, I mean,
not for a non-housewife.
No, but I feel like they have to rent an event space somewhere to do this.
No,
right?
when the full-time cast members do a party, that's out of pocket. Production doesn't pay for that. So that was Amy's party. She paid for it. I think she wanted...
Oh, no, I agree with you. Amy paid for it. Yeah. I think someone paid her some money to be like, hey, we'll give you like $5,000 if you let us film there too. And she's like...
No, I think she agreed to it. I think she actually is friends with some of them to a certain extent. And I think, again, you see it on TV. She wanted it like... No one would go into this not... an all-cast event, having clearly everyone has watched the show in that room. Everyone had watched the show. They knew what was going to go down. There's going to be some shit happening. So Amy was like, okay, I'll let this shit happen. It'll be fun for my friends to like see it up close and personal, but then we can all have looks on our face like, these people.
So it's like a trip to the reality show zoo.
Exactly. Okay. And they can look down their noses at them like, oh my God, how tacky, dick sucker.
But I feel like some of them, there's definitely a benefit for the show.
They were laughing at them.
But I don't know, not all of them.
A lot of them were.
There was a benefit to the show of some people going like, oh, okay, this is what it's like. This isn't so bad. And some people were snickering and being like, okay,
I don't think I feel like they do a lot of trying to cast for these shows. So I'm sure they probably put out feelers to many of the women in that room.
Right.
But I feel a lot of them were like, hell no. Or their husband said, hell no, because this is Salt Lake. Salt Lake, I
think this is a good chance for them to see what it's about and be like, okay, maybe next time I'll say yes. That's what just
maybe it's possible. Yeah. But I think a lot of it was just like, it's a day at the zoo.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. And Lisa gave them tacky housewife. Anyone who says that Lisa, I'm sure so many people will be like, Lisa ate here. She da-da-da-da. She had some great lines. I did gasp a lot. I had seen that whole Gout dick sucker in the trailer, but I wasn't expecting it. I'd forgotten for a second. So when she said it, I was like, oh my God. But it was still tacky as fuck. And the fact that she had to, I said fuck, whatever. This was an episode. The fact that she had to go down to that level, as we were saying earlier, down to the gutter, proves you can't fight right.
Right. Also, she couldn't stop saying it. She's like, Gout dick sucker. And she said it 20 more times.
She worked on that.
Yeah.
She workshopped that.
Well, and from what Bronwyn was saying, Bronwyn said something 5 years ago about Bronwyn made the joke herself that like...
Bronwyn made the joke about like
Todd's old, has gout, and I have to suck his dick. It's probably something she said. And then Lisa turned around and used it on her 5 years later.
Oh, you're right. But I think she did mention his gout last season too. But can you wait? Sorry, let's stop here. Can you get gout in your dick?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Well, I mean, you can get gout anywhere there's inflammation of the joints. So
right, there's no joints in your dick.
I mean, unless it counts where it connects. I don't know. That's not a joint.
I just love Whitney's like, I didn't know. I thought gout was in the foot.
Yeah. Gout is typically in your feet, in your like lower extremities, the way your blood pumps and everything. That has something to do with it. My brother Adam has a lot of gout.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah. I mentioned gout, but like about him, but
made me think that maybe I get the gout sometimes, but I don't know. I don't have enough body awareness to.
But not your dick. Your dick is fine.
My dick is great.
So let's break down the fight.
Oh, we're not gonna cut that out.
No. Your dick is great.
So break down the fight.
Yes. Basically, Lisa comes into the party looking for the fight. Bronwyn is also looking for the fight.
Well, Heather promised her a fight.
Yes.
So, I mean, Lisa was not wrong.
Yes. So Lisa's confronting Angie, talking about Bronwyn. Oh, no. Let's back it up more. Freaking snitch Brittany. So then Bronwyn said, da-da-da. And then Angie compared you to Jen Shaw. Like, Brittany, she's not going to like you like that. Just stop it.
You saw what happened when Bronwyn liked you for 5 minutes last season.
Right?
How well that went.
Like, you can be tossed in the road and run over again.
I liked how all the other women were like, they're talking about it. Oh, she just said, like, that room wasn't that big. Also,
it wasn't that big.
It echoed high heaven.
Yes. And I'm sure they're all like, what? Yeah. What? So then Lisa's like ready to attack Angie, who's Angie's got to get better at this, because she's like, well, let me explain. And then Bronwyn was like, no, it's about me. And then for freaking Lisa to turn around like, you're dismissed, like that elitist attitude. We are all on the same damn show, lady.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot just dismiss me. We all getting paid. I don't care if you are at Sundance with Blake and Ben, what the fuck ever. We are all on Housewives together.
Right.
So this attitude of I'm better than you, it's one step like close to Vicky Gullinson saying, get off my show.
Right.
Shut up, Lisa.
Now, it'd be different if Lisa was talking to Brittany, because Brittany's just a friend of.
Yeah.
Brittany doesn't have the snowflake. That's okay. We're all for hazing the friend.
Right. Like, you can go now. You only have a segment at the reunion. I'm all for full time.
Right.
Now, there was Bronwyn. She should have like stood back. Yes, because she was, again, looking for the fight.
Right.
She came up to Lisa and said, no, you want to fight with me.
But back up.
Yeah.
So what was Angie doing? So Lisa came up and was trying to have it with Angie.
We need to talk.
And Angie was trying. I would like to have seen where Angie was really going to get with that.
She was going to say, basically saying, I think she was eventually going to apologize as she apologized in the moment with the girls. I shouldn't have said that.
Oh, right.
Compared to Jen Shah.
Yeah.
And she was saying, all the lawsuits, we're talking about it. And then, Jen, like, she was going to get there. But she was taking a while to get there. She was making points, but not in a very quick fashion.
Because she's a little slow with that.
Yeah.
She's a little robotic at times.
Little bit.
I am the upstanding citizen.
It would have worked better on a one-on-one scene.
Right.
Like, let me tell you, Lisa, why I said these.
I am so surprised that none of them. I thought Meredith tried to be like, well, maybe we should talk about that, together sometime, because it was like that room was so loud.
Yeah, so loud.
So, but yeah, you're right. Angie would have apologized for that, but I just don't know what her game plan was after that, to be like, well, we were talking about the lawsuits. Like, what was I going to say? They didn't exist? Like,
right. But it was wrong for me to compare you to Jen Shah. That I will agree. Okay. She never should have brought Jen Shah into it. This is totally
also just kind of weak sauce of someone who's not on the show shouldn't be brought up.
Just leave. Like, no one wants to see Jen Shah anymore. Actually, I shouldn't speak in absolutes. Annie Cohn doesn't see Jen Shah anymore. Okay,
right, and we don't. Yeah, I don't need to see her.
Whatever. So yes. So then Bronwyn inserts herself in the situation. So yes,
which isn't wrong. Bronwyn was right for that, to say like, look, you're talking to everyone else about things that I was doing.
Yes.
And so it's like, don't be blaming them.
You're
don't be yelling
talking
at
shit
them
about me to Heather.
Right.
So now I'm here, and now you want to dismiss me, because at the end of the day, much like Heather, Lisa knows how smart Bronwyn is. And like, when you get into it with her, she's going to come at you just as hard.
Like, I like
in a very intelligent way.
I liked how Bronwyn had explanations to Heather about like, well, I thought you were gonna be fine after the reunion and everything. It's like, yeah, but Lisa kept going.
Freaking Heather is aware of everything that's going on in the housewife world.
Right.
Like, she is a housewife and a fan. She knew that Lisa was talking shit about Bronwyn online 24/7 after the reunion.
But I think
so for her to be like surprised of, I don't understand. I thought you wanted to be friends. I wanted to be friends, Heather, until she started like dogging me out.
Yeah.
And like, there was no resolution after the reunion.
But I love that Bronwyn was present and able to say that, like, yeah, I was willing to, but then it never stopped. Like, I'm not going to just sit down and take it. Like, I'm going to be like, oh, which is exactly what Heather does. Oh, Lisa, you're the best. Like,
but also Heather does not like Bronwyn. Right. So she was like, sure, Lisa, go out, dog her out. And then I'm surprised, Bronwyn, why are you... Don't gaslight. Heather was doing so much gaslighting in that scene with Bronwyn. I was like, just stop it, Heather. You know what you're doing. You know what you're saying.
Right.
Stop. We have the veneer. We're seeing through the veneer. Like, the veil is off. We know who you are. You've proven that now for 2 seasons. Stop. Do better, Heather.
Right.
Again, I say it. Do better.
I love her. I want her to do better.
I do too. I don't love her anymore. I like her, but the love I felt for her in the first season, no. So when someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. Anyways, so back to the fight. So yes, Bronwyn, even though I wouldn't have gone this tack, and they're going to say that she's thirsty and wanting to get Lisa's attention. No, she's had some issues with Lisa. So it does make sense, in a sense, for her to like come at her. And then Lisa claps back, and then they start going at it. And then Lisa has to rely on just the basis of things and calling her a gout dick sucker. And because that's all oh, you didn't go to college. Oh, you're dismissed. And then calling her a pig. You are now Monica Garcia.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it as well. Like, when it comes down to political rhetoric, our commander-in-chief right now.
That's how you fight.
That's how you fight.
Yes.
Is you're like, oh, I don't have anything substantive to say, so I'm just going to call you a fat pig. I'm going to start body shaming you. I'm going to start, attacking your looks. I'm going to start attacking.
She started imitating her. Oh, now you're going to do the thing. We all know Bronwyn does the hair behind the ear,
right?
Like thing. Like that's her thing. It's like probably a nervous tick.
Brought it up herself.
Yes, it's a nervous tick.
So it's just when you have nothing else to rely on, you're going to.
Why do you want to decimate this girl? Because you think she's a threat. Anybody else? Like with Whitney, she's like, whatever, Whitney, you're trash. That's what Lisa's basically said.
Right.
And she said the same thing about Heather. You're a good time girl, whatever the past. Angie, you're this. Meredith, you're that. You are the one.
If I keep coming at you about things that are going on that you're stressed out about in your life, you're not going to sit down and take it. So from Lisa's perspective, she's got to do something.
But fight intelligently and don't go for like the lowest of the low.
Right. I was going to say, like, how could she handle it? But I realized walking away is the way to handle that. Just being
she would never walk away.
But it's still...
She walked away from episode 1. Now she's like, I got to get back in there.
But just being like, what... But I think, say what you will about Meredith. Meredith disengages and just like, whatever. I don't need
this. Is not worth my time. I'm not going to fight with you.
Right.
I'm not going to go into the gutter with you.
Instead of being like, I dismiss you, just being like, whatever, and dismiss yourself.
Exactly. I can't with this conversation. Goodbye.
Yeah.
That's why Meredith, when this whole was going down, she was like, I'm whatever. You want to fight this out? Not my fight. But yeah, just to like say those things, it was just so gross. Like Bronwyn's not a pig.
Yeah.
She's not someone who needs to be dismissed. Like you are not. This is not the Lisa Barlow show.
No. I
don't care. Yes, we did spend so much time talking about her last episode. Whatever. She's a cast member. Shit was going down. There are all these lawsuits. Like that's going to happen. So it just irritates me, the feeling that Lisa can just like, she has this idea that she is so much better than them.
Entitlement.
Yes. The entitlement drives me nuts.
Entitlement drives everyone nuts.
But especially with these women, you're all on the same damn level.
Right.
Sundance Queen. She isn't even in Utah anymore.
Do you think that she doesn't live in Utah anymore?
No, Sundance isn't in Utah.
Oh, right.
It's going elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because they did it to themselves.
They did, but still sad. That was a lot of economy for Utah.
It is, but you did it to yourself.
Right. Do you think that there's a way that Lisa could have responded intelligently about the lawsuits?
No, because she goes for emotion. She goes for fake crying. She goes to the lowest low. Even we see in the next episode that with the trailer, she's just, with her big whiteboard of like, you're all wrong and I'm right. And she just gets so aggressive, which also makes me think, then you doth protest too much.
Yeah.
And there is something to these lawsuits. So if there was nothing to it, like, whatever, get off my dick.
See, that's kind of, again, I hate, when it comes to like Beverly Hills and everything Erica was going through, Erica wasn't vehemently defending herself from all the accusations.
Well, that was a different case because she couldn't. But that was about Tom, and she would have made herself look guilty if she had talked about it.
But the same thing, Lisa could take the same thing. These are open lawsuits. The same thing Karen did on Potomac.
Right.
That's
that too.
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let the justice system figure it out.
Wait and see. Yeah.
Take the high road, but she's so...
That girl couldn't find the high road with GPS. Like, no. Yeah. She's not... Who is it with the high road? Heather Dubrow. She's not Heather Dubrow. Heather Dubrow would never say gout dick sucker. Heather Dubrow is classy, Lisa.
I don't know. I think Heather Dubrow would say it, but only
on
once.
Camera.
Only once.
Not on camera. And she wouldn't call someone a pig.
And she'd have her pinky raised when she did it, though. So it would be classy.
Yeah. But no, she wouldn't say these things in that manner. It just really grossed me out. It just
I agree with you fully.
Out of it.
I agree.
So, but no, I love that Bronwyn stood her ground and just like kept coming back like, no, you got these lawsuits. No, does John know about this? Like she kept making points that Lisa couldn't. No, that's lying. It's lies. They're just lying. Gout. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's all Lisa had when Bronwyn was spitting facts. Lisa was just spitting insults. And one was losing her composure, guzzling her drink, and Bronwyn's like, it doesn't matter how loud you yell, Lisa. It's not going to go away. So right. I like Bronwyn for that. It was a great approach, and I think she handled it quite well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, I don't think there's how would they be friends after this?
You can't be friends anymore after this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I said, I think it's...
Will we see them by the end of the season?
You know why they can't be friends anymore? Or why? Because I was thinking about, like, all the shit that went down with Heather and Lisa. At the end of the day, Heather, no matter how hard they were fighting, still wanted Lisa's approval, as she has shown, because she's moved on past all that crap that Lisa did to her, and now she's cool with her. Bronwyn, I think, saw the light and was like, it doesn't matter what I say, this woman is going to,
I still think Bronwyn wants the approval, or else why would she be, putting herself in there?
Because you're on a show.
Well, okay.
That's what, I think she is, no. It's, like she said to Heather, I wanted to move forward, but then she kept coming at me aggressively online. So now I realize I can't. Bronwyn had that aha moment that Heather never did. So I think that's the difference. And I don't think they can maybe coexist, I mean, but it's never going to be the same if they were truly friends.
Are we going to see them having a girls' night out, in whatever girls' trip they go on this season? Oh, we're having so much fun, the two of them.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, things can happen. Who would have thought that Meredith would have been able to forgive Lisa for that tirade and whatever.
I just heard that tirade on TikTok because they try to sell the mugs that have it written on there. Oh, God. Yeah. I thought of buying you that, but I'm like, nah, I don't need that profanity in my kitchen. From Lisa Barlow. That was really, 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 really...
Again, so low.
Yeah.
She's fucked up half of New York.
And probably true, though, right?
But also, if I was Meredith, I couldn't get past, the things you said about my husband, the things you said about my family that were all posers.
Yeah.
Say what we will about me, but we bring my kids into it? No. No.
Yeah.
We are done. We're just coworkers. We can coexist, but I will always keep my eye on you because you are a shady person. No. So, but again, it's Housewives. Got to resolve. Got to move forward. But I would not.
Yeah.
I would not.
Understand.
So yeah, I think the path is whatever. We can be in the same room together, but we're not going to talk, I think, because as Todd says in the previews for next week, why would she want to be friends with her? Just no.
Yeah.
That's unforgivable, Well,
I mean, I have to imagine again that no matter how awful it is, I have friends that I don't talk to right now that I, wish we were good friends, and I know how good it was, and they're still there somewhere, even if they're complete pieces of shit now.
It's two things. One, how deep was that friendship really between Bronwyn and Lisa? And two, Lisa, I don't think will ever truly apologize and take accountability for the nasty things she's done or said to Bronwyn. So if you don't have that, if Bronwyn's willing to move on, but you're not, and where do you go?
I'm trying to think back and think of anything that Lisa's taken accountability for that's substantial, and I can't recall anything.
I mean, I'm sure she did, and she did apologize to Meredith about the tirade because they at the reunion that year, and she's gotten to a better place at one point with Whitney and with Heather and whatever. I didn't like when Whitney tried to bust in, and Lisa was like, no, not even having that, no. Again, so dismissive. It's just so irritating.
Agreed.
Irritated.
We have talked the wheels off of this.
Yeah, I think we mentioned everybody.
I think we have. No, I said we could probably go on for a while because
but then we'd just be spinning our wheels,
right? And we don't need to, do that. But it's a good episode.
It was a good episode.
Episode number 2.
Yes, that's the thing with. I mean, we'll see how the season goes, but last season proved there was no filler with Salt Lake, so I hope this will be the same thing of just nonstop good episodes.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, if there wouldn't be a Husbands Watching Housewives episode if we didn't comment on how hot it is up here. Yeah. So with all
of drinking game.
Yeah. I'm out of beer, so we get another one. Follow us on all the socials. Husbands Watching Housewives. Go to our website, husbandswatchinghousewives.com. Hit like, subscribe, download us. Tell your friends. Tell your mother.
Tell your mother.
And then on that note, until next time.